A lab in Wuhan, China is under scrutiny today, under suspicion as being the source of the coronavirus outbreak.
The lab denies it, but there are questions about how truthful the Chinese government is being. Keir Simmons reports.
This morning, new questions about the source of the coronavirus pandemic as a laboratory in Wuhan, China finally breaks its silence. The Wuhan Institute of Virology telling Chinese state television the facility was not the source of the outbreak.
I can tell you for sure that none of our students, retirees, or any of our staff has been infected.
For weeks, the Trump administration has been raising questions about whether the virus accidentally emerged from a laboratory and not a food market, as Chinese officials had claimed.
So let's see what happens with their investigation, but we're doing investigations also.
The Secretary of Defense telling Savannah,
I find it hard to trust much of what comes out of the Chinese Communist Party.
Wuhan is home to a number of organizations studying coronaviruses. In February, a Chinese university study seen by NBC News reported incidents of a Wuhan CDC scientist exposed to potential viral infection from bats. That study has since been removed from the university website, the author claiming he lacked evidence. Close by, the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which was among the first to receive patient samples of the virus last December and worked with other Chinese labs to map the genetic sequence. But since the coronavirus outbreak, multiple pages from its website have also been deleted. Most scientists agree the coronavirus was not manufactured in a lab, but
there certainly is a possibility that the pandemic resulted from safety lapses at a lab. What I would like to see is a more international approach, a more international investigation.
Current and former members of the US intelligence community tell us that US intelligence is investigating whether this coronavirus did accidentally leak from a lab that was experimenting with bats. In the end, we may never know, but multiple governments now around the world questioning China's transparency and openness, and that may do as much damage for the Chinese Communist Party. Meanwhile, we do want to let you know that we did ask the Chinese ambassador to Washington and the Wuhan Institute of Virology for a comment and to tell us about these apparently removed pages. We haven't heard back. Keir Simmons, NBC News, London.
The future of the Summer Olympics in Tokyo is looking even more grim, and there
manufactured in a lab, but
there certainly is a possibility that the pandemic resulted from safety lapses at a lab. What I would like to see is a more international approach, a more international investigation. There's a possibility that the pandemic resulted from safety lapses at a lab. What I would like to see is a more international approach.
Congressman, this is Megan again. So we have been seeing reports that China obviously has not been transparent with the rest of the world, suppressing information from the beginning when they knew how deadly this disease is. I'm absolutely furious. I think for the benefit of our country, we should have as little to do with the Chinese government as possible. Do you think that the U.S. and the world should hold them responsible for the gravity of this pandemic and the fact that if we had possibly had more of a heads up, maybe less people would have tragically died?
So it's a phenomenal point. And let me say this, when it comes to our larger relationship with China, I led one of the few bills this term which has successfully put sanctions on China. In this instance, it was putting sanctions on Chinese pharmaceutical companies for producing fentanyl, which is killing our kids each and every day. It's clear that China has not been honest about their numbers. It's clear that they could have done far more, and it's becoming increasingly more likely that they're not being honest about the sources of this deadly virus originating and spreading throughout the world. But with that being said, we cannot let our criticisms of China bleed into rampant xenophobia and bias towards Chinese Americans and violence towards Chinese Americans. That is happening at scary, scary levels, and they are Americans and patriots just like all of us and your viewers. The other thing that we can't do right now is just completely retreat away from the world and be isolationists. The World Health Organization made some egregious mistakes, but that's cause for us to take even more of a leadership role, reform the institution. If we isolate, we will forget about the fact, to our own chagrin and demise, that this is a global problem. This virus doesn't see borders. It doesn't see race, creed, socioeconomic status, religion, or nationality, and we have to have a global solution.
I have to say thank you, Congressman. Come hang with us anytime, okay?
I would love
We'll be right back. Today.
Of journalists researching and identifying fake news online has seen a surge in recent weeks.
The idea that this virus was created in the lab, it's a leaked bioweapon, including the claim that it was a bioweapon stolen from a Canadian lab by Chinese spies. Two claims that are predominantly on the health side, such as, this solution can cure coronavirus.
With plenty of people looking to make a profit, whether it's an herbal tea or this Craigslist posting by a Victoria seller claiming to have a device that can detect the coronavirus from 25 feet away. Experts